weekend, everyone. Welcome back to Mindset Motivated with Zack George and Robert Bruski, the podcast where we talk about all things mindset and motivation related. Short little snippets so they're easily digestible, but definitely meaningful. And so in this episode, we are going to talk about discomfort, getting out of your comfort zone, stepping outside of the box, seeking some of that pain that you may be trying to avoid. Do I got that right, Zack? Is that what we're talking about?
That's right. Okay. So growth, any growth that we have does not happen in a place of comfort. And, you know, I've talked about this before. The limbic system in the brain, which is our fight or flight, generally is there to keep us comfortable and safe, right? So the thought of doing something that may motivate you, but going to actually do it, like for instance, working out or whatever, you're going to feel that lethargic feeling. And that's your limbic system, your brain sending signals to your body to make you feel this way, to stop you from burning calories, to stop you from putting you in a place of discomfort. So it's out of survival, but really it's holding you back. And today, you know, listen, man, I've run a gym for 16 years. 16 years I have not had a boss. I'm the daddy. I'm the guy, right? And yeah, I feel really safe. I feel really comfortable. In that environment, you know, am I challenged? A little bit, but nothing I can't handle. Mm-hmm. And in that environment, do I personally grow and become better and learn a whole bunch of new stuff and become stronger? No, I don't. Others benefit from my experience, which is great, and that's a service that I offer. But the second I take myself out of that environment and say, I may grow very little, but the second I say we take Master Sifu, you know, Grandmaster Zack, and we put him into a beginner ballet class or something completely different, like a computer programming class. What the heck, man?
Yeah.
You know, like, I know nothing about computers. Nothing. I don't know that. I'm the slowest typer. I'm a finger puncher, right? Man, okay. Now, the amount that I would grow within 1 hour of taking something that I have no clue about is exponentially greater than the amount that I would grow in 5 years doing something that I'm a master in.
Right.
You know, another example, you know, like, so I'm at the top. Everybody is my student or volunteer. You know, I have no peers that in my thing that I can turn to that'll challenge me. You know, the second I create myself and lower, and I bring myself to the bottom of the hierarchy, and I become that new man, that beginner. Now I'm going to grow at a huge exponential rate compared to where I stay in my own environment, where I feel safe.
Yeah.
And I know everything. You know what I'm saying?
I totally know what you're saying. You know what?
Seek it, man. Seek it. You know, discomfort and not knowing, right?
Yeah, you got to find it. There's a book by an author named Daniel Pink. It's called A Whole New Mind. And the premise of the book is basically how the world is changing to a more right-brained world, you know, thinking with creativity, thinking with empathy, etc. So not left-brained.
In the Eastern philosophy, you know, especially the Taoist philosophy, they talk about no mind or a beginner's mind.
Yeah. And
to approach everything that you do with a beginner's mind, without those concepts that you already bring to the table, right? And seeking out areas that you can be a beginner, because that allows you to also fail.
That's kind of what he's getting to. Like, I would encourage everyone to take as much, like, try to exercise the right side of your brain. And so as he talks about this, he talks about creativity and what that sort of stuff brings. And then to kind of attach to that concept, as much as I hate quoting Steve Jobs because it's so super cliche, right? Steve Jobs, and I'm paraphrasing here.
We're all thieves. No, everything that we do is stolen from somewhere or something. Like, there's organic thoughts, but at the end of the day, it's been inspired by some sort of.
So his inspiration was, you know, when a creative person is asked to solve a problem, they solve it, and the non-creative person will be like, "Well, how did you do that?" And the creative person will say, "What do you mean? How did I do it? I just did it."
I don't know.
And what's happening here is that the creative person has gone outside of the box and been involved in so many more things, music, travel,
depth and
athletics.
substance.
So they have more ways to synthesize a solution.
That's correct.
You know what I'm saying?
They bring it, I absolutely. You will never develop yourself. And I tell my students too, there's lots of black belts and I'm sorry I keep coming back to martial arts.
No, man, absolutely.
This is all
Dude, it's your passion.
Done. Okay, I can't give a black belt to a kid that's only ever say he's trained with me from the time he's 4. I poured all my knowledge into him. I've trained him as hard as I can. Now this kid's never been picked on, never been in a fight, never had to stand up for himself, never lost a competition or been challenged or stepped out of his comfort zone or been in a place where he felt threatened or afraid. I can't give him a black belt.
Really?
I can't because he does not have the depth when a student comes to him someday and says, I'm having this problem. He's got no life experience to draw from, especially if I've sheltered him. My students, you want a black belt with me, you got to jump in the ring and do a fight. You have to. Win or lose, I don't care. I need to know that you've stepped out of your comfort zone. You're going to have depth to draw from. We also have them do life experience, volunteering at different places, and getting involved with different walks of life, right? That way they can have some compassion, right? And that would never be developed out in a sheltered world, right? So back in the day, the monks say when you reach your final level of training, you leave the temple and you travel for a year on your own. And then you become a master because then you had the life experience also to apply your training,
right?
To bring that knowledge back, right? But it was only and just like parents, right? I see parents, they shelter their children and, somebody starts picking on their kid. All of a sudden they call the school, they get that bully removed. Oh man, you know what? Your kid will never grow, man. I'm telling you, man.
What do you call those snowplow parents?
Oh man, I'm a martial arts coach and I'm here to teach your kids how to get beyond bullying. But if you keep jumping in and you keep solving problems for people, they'll have no depth. And there's so many kids that are just so freaking sheltered. They get certain things on the internet. Their parents hold them back from failing or getting hurt or losing or being humiliated. And you're screwing your kids then, right? Because they have not grown. The best thing my parents did was let me fail. They put me in tons of stuff. I got my ass kicked in certain things. They supported me no matter what. And you know what? As long as, I would go out and try and give it my all and enjoy myself. That was the main thing. And I was lucky to have that kind of attitude because as long as I had that attitude that just go and just do the best you can and be the best you can, you're never scared of failing, right? So it's the fear of failing. Isn't it crazy that the fear of failing will paralyze you enough to not even try? What the hell is that? You're so afraid of failing that has now paralyzed you to the point that you can't even try. Oh my God. And it's not the things in life on your deathbed that you regret doing. It's the things that you didn't do.
Yeah.
That you regret.
There's a struggle though, because I think today failure has been romanticized and everyone is welcoming failure so willy-nilly that they're going into it ill-prepared. And it used to be if you weren't prepared, you were paralyzed.
I thought about that, let them go into it and let them feel the pain and the burn, right?
Yeah.
And you know what? If they come back after that, then they got the grit. You know what I mean? Like if they do fail and they lose everything and they lose their friends, as you're talking about they did, let them do it. And then if they come back, now they will have real knowledge like you and I to build on, right?
Yeah. I dig it.
You dig it?
I dig it.
You said that before and that just nailed it home with me. And I'm like, you know what? You can't stop them from failing. Just like you can't tell a kid not to experiment with things. They got to do it and they got to believe that they're cool until they fail and lose everything. They come back humble and they say, I fuck.
Humility.
Yeah. And then they say, that guy told me failing sucks. That was you.
Yeah.
He was friggin' right. Now
I learned my lesson.
Now I learned my lesson, right? But They got to fail in order to realize that failing sucks. We failed and we're sheltering them from failing. Let them fail.
Yeah.
Fail big.
All right, let's wrap it up, guys. Mindset Motivated with Zack and Robert. Let us know if you have any questions. And until next time, stay frosty, my friends.
Peace.